my email account was turned into, you know, the biggest scandal since Lord knows when. This was the biggest nothing burger ever.
And that was just part of the rant yesterday with Hillary Clinton just opening up at a tech conference about why she lost. Everything except her. She said, I'm not perfect, but I only lost because of the Russians, because of the New York Times, because of the DNC.
Right. Ronna McDaniel, who is the RNC chairwoman, joins us here to talk about this morning. What was your reaction?
Well, it's just typical Hillary Clinton. I mean, I was in Michigan, ground zero. Hillary Clinton never came to our state. When she finally recognized that she was losing Michigan, her whole campaign was anti-Trump. She never put forward a vision for Michigan voters. Donald Trump came in. He talked about fair trade. He talked about jobs. He talked about the economy. He put forward a vision for the Michigan voters, and that's why he won.
Wisconsin, too, right? She spent more time in Arizona than Wisconsin. This is a matter of blue states turning red.
Yeah, we had a countdown clock in Michigan for how many days Hillary Clinton had not come to our state. I think it got up to 54 days post-convention. We were a flyover state. She took us for granted, and Donald Trump invested in the voters of Michigan.
I mean, for a personal standpoint, we asked her to come on our show a lot of time. Every time we asked President Trump to come on, we asked her to come on, too. And sometimes they would send some of their people, but they never sent her, and I thought that was a big mistake.
Every time I see these interviews, it reinforces why she lost. Yeah. Every time she's out there, she seems to be totally unaware. She has no self-awareness. Maybe she needs a class or something that we can send her to, because there's no accountability. And it reinforces every time why she lost when she goes out and does these interviews.
And it exposes that she really believed the deplorables comment, which is one of the worst aspects. So President Trump didn't have a ground game. The RNC was able to provide him one. But Hillary Clinton had a critique of the DNC, saying she inherited very little. Take a listen to what Hillary Clinton had to say.
So I'm now the nominee of the Democratic Party. I inherit nothing from the Democratic Party.
What do you mean nothing?
I mean, it was bankrupt. It was on the verge of insolvency. Its data was mediocre to poor, non-existent, wrong. I had to inject money into it.
This is the DNC.
The DNC to keep it going.
And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is a friend of hers, got fired in the middle of it. She didn't even look to hold
blocking Bernie.
And for blocking Bernie and for giving debate questions to Hillary.
Yeah, they gave her debate questions. They put the debates on nights where there was football so that there was less viewership. They did everything they did to rig the primary against Bernie Sanders.
Now
look at the superdelegates. Everything that the DNC did was to help Hillary Clinton, and now she's turning their back on them after all they did to help her.
Have you heard that the DNC, that they don't have their act together, that they're broke?
Oh, we see it. We see it every day. We're on the ground in all these states. The RNC is far superior in terms of data and ground game. We retooled after 2012, and we're going to continue to do that in 2018 and 2020.
Part of the success in 2018 will be what can President Trump and Republicans get done. There's a lot of concern that the Senate Republican caucus can't stay coherent. What are you going to do to make sure his agenda actually gets passed through the Senate?
Well, I'm traveling the country. I've been in 20 states. I've traveled over 70,000 miles. I have to bring the grassroots to Washington and tell our legislators, if we don't do the things that we campaigned on, we will see our voters turn their back on us in 2018. We have to repeal and replace Obamacare. We have to get tax reform. They're very pleased with the president. He's enacted deregulation. He's restored America's standing as a leader in the world, but they need to see Congress act and do the things that we campaigned on.
What does the Republican base want the president to do about the Paris Agreement?
I think they're going to want him to pull out. I think they want him to put America first. They want him to look, and I'm not going to, I don't want to step on the president's toes, but I'm all over the country. I think they're looking at every deal and saying, this is the president who's going to put America's interests first, and that's what they're going to expect for him to do with the Paris Agreement.
How important is it for you to win keep Tom Price's seat in the Georgia 6?
Well, let's look. We kept Kansas. We kept Montana. Georgia is where they've put all of their money. We won in the primary. In fact, Republican votes totaled more than the Democrat votes. The president came in and really helped us in the primary. We want to keep that seat. We want to make sure that the president has every help he can get. And South Carolina is that same night as well.
But of course, no matter what, the mainstream media will say Democrats win no matter, even if they lose.
We won Montana in a state where there's a Democrat governor and a Democrat senator, and there's nothing. I mean, we can't win.
And you're anti-body slam. No more body slams, right?
Only you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
He's good at it.
It's usually in the break.
Okay.
Thank you.